Welcome everyone. I am Christian Molmet. I work on the tastytrade trade desk and also on our content side a little bit. And I will be hosting the demo today. With me is Andy, and he's also on the trade desk here to help answer your questions as we're going along. Again, we kind of have a smaller audience on this one, so I think I'm just going to be keeping a close eye on chats. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi guys. So Sam, Ricardo, welcome, welcome. Um, we'll start up here in just a minute, but while we're waiting, just to get a general idea of where we want to take this demo, what kind of products are you guys trading? Are you doing equities, futures? And then if you're trading options, what kind of strategies are you trading? Do you want to see us place some option spreads, single-legged options? You want to see futures, charting in specific, anything along those lines of things that you are looking to do, or maybe, where you spend a majority of your time trading. So we got vertical spreads, charting would be great, brackets too. Yep. Awesome. Thanks for the feedback, guys. Stocks, got it. I'll cover that as well, my friend. And then, yeah, as we're going along, Zoom has a really nice chat and Q&A function. You can probably just toss everything in the chats because we got a little bit of a smaller audience, but feel free to use the chat or QA. Either Andy will help toss you a link or give you an explanation if I'm talking through something, or I'll stop and try to get to your question in specific. So Jason, new to trading and new to tastytrade, options, please. I got you, my friend. So I think to start, we'll just do some general layout and wayfinding, and then we'll go into placing a stock trade. And right now, the extended hour session for the US markets at tastytrade is 3 p.m. Central Time to 4 p.m. Central Time. It's 3:33 right now, so we got 27 minutes left in the extended hour session, and that's for trading stocks. So Sam, you're asked about stocks. You could actually still trade stocks right now in the extended hour session. So we'll place an order on that, and then shortly after, we'll hop into some of those options trades and kind of dig into some of the other nice features on our web platform. So off the bat, I just kind of want to preface that we are on our web browser platform. The URL is my.tastytrade.com. As of right now, we actually do have a legacy web platform that's at trade.tastytrade.com. So that's our old web platform, kind of has our old interface. But for today, I am on Google Chrome and I'm on my.tastytrade.com. I've already gone ahead and signed in, but when you sign in for the first time on the web platform, you'll be taken to the dashboard page. So this is the first window we're going to see. And this is a nice little snapshot of where your accounts and market is for the day. It's a good place to start just to see, hey, what's going on with the S&P 500 or SPY today? Are we up? Are we down? And then also to the right, so let me get my Zoom drawing tools to just make it a little bit easier for you guys to see what I'm talking about. So we got our little market snapshot here. This updates in every 10 minutes. So right now we're looking at this is in Eastern time, so or NY time. So we got 4:30 there. And then to the right is going to be our little account snapshot. So right now we're actually looking at our purple account that ends in 01. And underneath that, we actually have a historical net lick graph. So this is showing you your historical account value, or net lick is really, if you were to close everything at the current mid price, what kind of cash or what kind of balance would you have in your account? That's going to be your net lick. So you can see based on a 1 month, 1 week, or 1 day period, generally I just like to start my platform on the dashboard on 1 day. You can kind of get a quick glimpse, and maybe we'll go check out our pink account. It's got a little bit more going on. But you can kind of see as the day progresses, or how as this day has gone by, where is my account's profit or loss or net lick been in compared to the previous day. So you can see here, our account has some net long deltas, which means we kind of want the market to rise in this account on this pink guy here. So, start of the day, market was a little down. So we were at a slight loss, and then, we rallied. So we're looking at a little bit of higher net lick today. So we're getting a profit on our positions, which is great. And that's where you can kind of, check it out, see, hey, how's my account doing? How's the markets doing? And then underneath as well, and let me just get rid of this drawing, you're going to see just some relevant news across the market, some big news coming out. And a lot was going on with AMC recently, but, kind of check out general articles that you can refresh to here at the top. Lastly, just at the bottom, we have some nice applicable watch lists that you can keep track of, tasty earnings, just symbols with earnings coming up, dividend champions. It's a preset watch list based on companies that have increased their dividend payments for the past 25 years and some other criteria. And then tasty fast movers, which is just very highly volatile underlyings based on some proprietary measures. So just some useful watch lists. Again, this is let me just see sort columns. So, and good question, Michael. So as of right now, and this is a relatively new feature. This dashboard is relatively new, so it's a very base implementation. You're not able to edit these watch lists here at the bottom or the columns within them. So it's just based on a flat number. So in this case, you're getting the earnings date, dividends, you're getting the dividend percentage amount on the last payment or less X dividend date, and then Tasty Fast Movers is the percentage move for the day. So we're going to make this in a new release, probably I'd say about a month or so, maybe a month or two. We're going to add in the ability to add multiple symbols to our chart here at the top, some better time frames for checking out your historical net lick, and then for tracking your performance, and then also much more customization on these watch lists here. But at the end of the day, again, in its current implementation, it's just a nice place to check out how your account's doing, how the market's doing at the start of the day. But cool, we're done with that. Let's go ahead and move on to our trading tab. So to navigate between some of our different tabs here on the web platform, we have this top header here. So we got dashboard, we got trading, and we got manage. So, and what's really nice, and I just want to say this off the bat, is the manage tab. And I'll click on it now, but I honestly think I might be showing some personal information, which we don't want to do on the stream here. But if we did click on manage here at the top, and you know what, let's just go for it. Okay, cool, we're good. Not getting hacked today, but sorry. So on this management section, you are going to be able to fund your account, make internal transfers, change your account preferences, or maybe your investor profile, so you can upgrade your trading level. But yeah, also if you want to look to open up another account, all these if you go under like my money here on the right, that's where you can make all of these different deposits. It's just like if you've gone on our site on manage.tastytrade.com. It's that management site where used to have Tony Bat on there going, good job out of use, but it's kind of where you've have your home base right now at manage.tastytrade.com. Eventually, we're actually going to be all moving that over to this site here, but that's where you'll start to see, all that good account management stuff that you normally have to do through a web browser or different web browser is now all kind of integrated into the platform here to just make it an easier experience. So we got deposits, withdrawals, internal transfers, my accounts. You can check out your statements and your confirms, all that good jazz. So we got a little description in our help center on some of the stuff in here. Again, don't really want to dox myself too much, so let's go ahead and jump into some trading. So go ahead and click on trading. That will take us to where we really all wanted to be, is in the trading tab. So awesome. One, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, the difference between the Tasty Trade site and the Tasty Trade software. So right now we are on the web browser and this is our web platform. There are some technical differences between our downloadable desktop platform and this platform here. The charting package is slightly different. There's some features that are on desktop that we're still catching up on this new web platform. I remember someone asking earlier, brackets on option spreads. That's currently on our desktop platform, but we're still building, our dev team is building out those order types for web right now. So although our desktop platform is our most robust platform, web is catching up very, very fast. And personally, I really like the interface. It's just nice, slick, especially too when you're on the go, you're on vacation, and you don't have access to the downloadable software. This is definitely a good place to start. I know too, if you have like a business laptop that kind of blocks your IP or something along those lines, if you're trying to access some platforms through, or at least stream data through a downloadable piece of software, sometimes going on the web platform can work around that. So just a little tidbit of information for you there. But for the most part, they're going to follow the same structure. And that's where you're taken to the positions tab off the bat. So you're on desktop, you're on the web platform. It's going to look very, very similar to how it looks on our screen right here. So by default, let me just get the chat out of the way here. Get our drawing tools going. On the left side here is our main navigation bar. So as we're going through the platform right now, we're in the positions tab. You have all these other tab or buttons here. If you want to see the names of them, all you got to do is go to the bottom left-hand corner and click on this arrow right here. Click on that arrow. We are now expanding our menu. Now we can see all of these different tabs that we can click on. So by default, we're in our positions tab. This is where we're going to be managing our open positions, maybe canceling or replacing orders, or just checking out, hey, how's my profit or loss doing right now? In this case, we're looking at quite a few positions across the board. We got a couple futures positions here, right here. We got some stuff in Apple. And we also have some TSM too. Now, not doing too great. Not doing too great. Microsoft looking a little rough. But if you did want to track how your positions are performing, you can add columns here in the positions tab. And I'll circle back a little bit later, but P&L open, P&L day, your options Greeks, just like our desktop platform, is kind of be your home base for managing positions. We'll loop back in a little bit. But let's just go ahead and keep going along in our layout and wayfinding. On our left side as well, you're going to see a little arrow here. And for those of you familiar with our desktop platform, this is our left-hand watch list. So if we click on this left arrow here, get rid of that drawing. Now we have an embedded watch list on our screen, so we can check out a list of either preset symbols, or maybe if you have created your own watch list, you can also do that as well. And I'll show you guys, there's a main watch list tab in the middle where we can create some, but if you're looking for, say, just you're kind of product indifferent, you want to just find some good liquidity options to trade, find some opportunities. Liquidity high options volume is a great list to look at of symbols that you might want to potentially trade. But also maybe you want to look at market indices and say, hey, I want to get a list of all the symbols in the S&P 500. Go to market indices and then S&P 500 at the bottom. And now we have a large watch list of all the symbols in the S&P 500. Right now we have bid here on the left. And then if we scroll through pages of our columns here, so we got bid, then we got this arrow here, which is actually going to let us scroll through some pages. Right now, I'm actually on a pretty small laptop, so the actual dimensions that I'm working with here are a little bit small. So, but if you expanded this window or went full screen, you'd very, very likely see multiple columns here. And for example, change here, or CHG, is just the change in price for the day. So we can see KIM went up 7 cents, TDY went up 1.73. And then, you can have some additional other columns in your watch list too that you can add in. And if we did want to add those into our watch list, I'll just show you guys right now while we're on the topic. Click on this settings gear icon right here. If it's on your positions tab, let me move my chat as well. But you can also access the settings just by clicking on this button here at the top of the platform. So if we clicked on settings, get rid of those drawings. Now we're in settings, and then we go to watch lists. We can now see our left sidebar watch list, our center main, and right sidebar. So there's technically 3 different locations that you could have watch lists, but if we wanted to edit the columns in our left-hand sidebar watch list, so we saw bid, ask, and net change, maybe we want, personally, I really like to add just net change percent. It's probably the most applicable just for my trading and maybe yours as well, but you can kind of play around and add what you want. But net change percent will just show you the percentage change in the underlying price for the day. So if we add in net change percent here to our displayed section, so these are the ones displayed, and then you can see not displayed here on the right. We're just dragging and dropping. And once we've done that, click X here up at the top, we can now see that net change percent has been added as our first page. So you can check out, hey, what's moving today? It looks like everything's going up, but GIS down about 0.09%. So small little decrease for that. But so Watchlist is really nice for keeping track of the markets. If you don't want this at all, you're like, get this off my screen, you can click on this arrow here at the top again. Pull up my drawings. I need my tools. Let's go. Where was I going with that? Well, I lost track of my thought there. But let's continue onwards. So that was our watch list. We got net change percent. And then we can close out. Oh yeah, we were just showing the arrow there. So this arrow here at the top, that's where you're going to be able to collapse this window. So thanks for bearing with me, folks. Long day, very long day. It's getting a little hot in here, but let's continue on. So we had our left-hand watch list. We have our left-hand side panel too. You can see some more information on your accounts that you have open right now on this side too. So we have a pink account that's a triangle. We have a purple account that's a little purple circle there. So in these accounts or these symbols also kind of correspond to your positions too. So you can see all these pink triangles. That means that it's trades that were placed in our holding in our pink account ending in '08. And then also here, you might see like a kind of a jumble of symbols and colors. That means that you have multiple positions on across accounts on the same underlying. So you see that we have a short call and a long call or call spread in our purple account. And then earlier today, we also had a call spread in our pink account, but that you can see the quantity is 0. So that means that we actually closed it earlier today. And Jason, good question. Is there going to be a copy of the recording? Yes, indeed. Oops, am I missing some questions here? There we go. Yeah, we do have a recording of this demo that we're going to post to our YouTube channel. So if you go up on YouTube, look up Tasty Trade, you might see Tasty Live first. The search engine optimization is still kicking in after our name change, but and Andy just posted there too. If you go to our main channel page, you're going to see at the top live platform demos. You'll see the recordings for all of our past live demos. We've actually done one on web before, so if you want to check that old one out, but about either later this afternoon or more likely tomorrow after it goes through a few checks, we'll get this published up on our channel. And then you should also receive an email that'll point you to the video as well. So good questions. Good stuff. So appreciate it, Jason. Thanks for your question. And then I see the other question of, hey, can I break off any of these additional left or right hand side windows? As of right now, no. And what's really nice on our desktop platform is that you can detach this right side panel and pull it into another window. Can't detach this left-hand side watch list, but that is something that's been requested. So good question mark. That's something that we're looking at building out in one of our future releases here shortly. So there is some semantics around like, if you were to detach it, then it's got to be its own separate browser window. I think it's a little bit tricky. We're looking into how we can kind of make that customization a little bit better on the web, but I'd say your best alternative for right now is to go to the desktop platform if you want to start kind of pulling windows into different monitors. Or, I mean, even then, to a point, you could sign into my.tastytrade.com on 2 different browsers or on multiple windows and have them running simultaneously. So if you want to have your charts up in one window and you're signed into my.tastytrade.com, and then on another tab, you have the trade tab open, you can fully do that up to, I'm sure maybe your computer will start bogging down if you got 10 of them open, but that'll be kind of the alternative if you want to have multiple monitors going where you got your charts in one monitor, you got your trading going in another monitor. So hopefully that helps answer your question. Good stuff. So we'll continue on. So we had our accounts here on the left. We saw the different account types that we have. We have 2 different accounts. On our right side here, we were talking about a right side panel. If you click on any of these buttons here on the right side of our screen, this is kind of an abbreviated version of our middle panel. You got symbol overview here, which is just a little breakdown on the active symbol on the platform. So right now we're looking at Apple, but if we check out this chart here, we got a chart on Apple. We got all the quote details on Apple, any earnings coming up, dividends, volume, all that good jazz on our right side. Same goes if we were to click on, say, news here on the right side. It's going to pull up news for our active symbol at the top of the platform. And, you could search for the symbol either by clicking on this up here, typing in, say, SPY, pressing enter. Now our active symbol is SPY. And now we can see the news updated on the right side to actually show news for SPY. Same goes if you're clicking symbols in your positions tab. So Get some of these drawings out of here. But say we were to just click on GLD here. If we click on GLD, now GLD is our active symbol on the top of the platform. And now we also have news on the right side. So platform's active symbol is really nice for clicking between different symbols. And then Tito, the address, yes, it's my.tastytrade.com. You got it. Spot on, my friend. And if we were to, let's see here, if we were to pull up our chart tab as well, you can see as we are, maybe we got our watch list here open on the left side. As I click through different symbols in my watch list, we are seeing the news update to that different symbol, the chart updates to that different symbol. So that's why this watch list is really nice is, maybe you're scanning through a bunch of different symbols and you can kind of check out, hey, what's the news going on? What's going on with this? Or maybe you want the overview panel up and you want to go click on GIS, go, oh, okay. See, there's earnings coming up September 20th in the bottom. Let's see. Let's look at some other, let's see what other symbols in the S&P 500 have earnings coming up. Oh, that symbol or CCL has September 29th, or MSI. Oh, it's Africa. Well, it's not listing any right now, but CDNS, October 23rd. So kind of as you're going through, scanning through different symbols, it's really nice to have those kind of the symbol overview watch list, maybe your chart open as well. Let's close that out. I'll revisit some of the features here on the right side, like quote alerts or our order chains feature, and then also the activity and positions tab shortly. But let's go and get into some of the good stuff. Let's go ahead and place a stock order before the market closes. And I really love the web platform for trading stock, pretty much because it just has a really nice interface with a chart when you're placing your order. We have grid mode on desktop, which is super similar, but if you're looking for a stock to trade, you could either, pull up the chart of it here, or, and then there is some functionality on the platform for clicking the bid and ask to open up a stock order, but the most simplest is just go to trade. You want to trade, you want to buy stock, you're going to go to trade here on the left. And by default, it's going to open up the options chain for this symbol, but maybe let's just pull up Ford. For right now, we can see the options chain for this symbol, but if we're just looking at stock, we can change the asset type to single. And then also in our strategy selector here, this little drop-down menu here, there also is a long stock button here at the bottom. If you wanted to click on long stock, click on it. And now we have an order going for long stock. That strategy selector is nice. Maybe if you're saying, maybe if we're doing like a covered call or something, we want to buy 100 share or a buy right, which is 100 shares in a short call in a single order. But in this case, we just wanted to buy shares. So you can click on single here. And now you can see that, as we are on our chart here, we can also start to place orders to buy. So I could buy 1 share of Ford. Technically, you could enter a fractional quantity. So if you wanted to buy 0.5 or a half a share of Ford, you could do that too. In the extended hours session, can't place fractional orders, but next market open you could. But in this case, if we wanted to buy, say, just 1 share of Ford or maybe 10 shares of Ford, we could type in quantity here in the bottom left. So you can use the arrows or you can type it in. In this case, we got 10. Since we're in the extended hour session, the order needs to be a limit order, which means, we're looking to get filled at a price or better. No guarantee at a fill. And then time in force, that's going to be where we select EXT. That's how we can send an extended hour order. Normally, during normal market hours, you're placing a day, GTC or GTD order. Or say you want to place an order to start working the next market session, then maybe you use GTD or GTC. But for extended hours, that 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central or 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Central, that hour before and hour after the market close, that's where you're using the extended hours time in force. So you can select that and then click on review and send. And also you have your price here and then also the bid and ask. Just want to break this down. You can see the bid and ask here at the top of the platform too on our active symbol, but you see it's trading between $12 and $12.02. Since we're buying 10 shares and we would set a price at about $12 per share, or in this case, if we're more likely to get a fill at 12.02, or the more you're paying, the more likely you're going to get filled, as is life. So if we placed at 12, maybe get filled, but if we place at 12.02, I would say we're pretty likely to get filled in this extended hour session. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's clear out our drawings. Got our order ready. Click on review and send here. And then we see, oops, and I'm actually in the wrong account here. So good example, if you got multiple accounts and you want to make sure you're placing a trade in the right one, you can click on this here at the top and this drop down here, and then click on purple. That's the account we actually want to place a trade in. And now that is our active account to place our trade. We get our trade breakdown. We can see, hey, what was our limit price? 12.02. It's a good place to just double check you're doing what you want to do. We've got an extended hours order. It's what the trade cost would be. What kind of commissions and fees am I paying on this trade? And also how much buying power or how much collateral is being held aside to hold this position. So once we're ready with that, clear that out. We can click on submit, or we click on edit if we wanted to go back and change the price. But in this case, let's just go ahead and submit. And now we had our working order. We could see it in the top left, and then also a filled order. And if we go and check out our activity on this left side here, we had activity open. We actually see that order that we just placed, and we got filled. Our limit price was at 12.02. We got filled at 12.02, and we can see the timestamp that we got filled. It was 10 shares. We buyed to open. And also there is a position section here on the right side where you can see, oh, I got 10 shares. That was my trade price, kind of the abbreviated version. Well, we're still in the trade tab. But if we go back to our kind of our home base, that positions tab, so just free commissions on stock, yeah. Opening and closing, $0 commissions on stock. Same goes with fractional shares too. So I definitely like to take advantage of the fractionals because of just diversifying. But yeah, it's good deal. Also, the crypto commission structure is pretty nice. Capped at $10. So, you imagine you pay like 100K of crypto at somewhere else, you're gonna be paying a hefty fee, but we cap it out at $10. So, crypto commission structure is nice. So we have our positions tab, and then we can go down and see F here or forward, and we see our 10 shares. So we see our open position, and we got 10 shares at forward. Great. And then we're thinking, okay, how can I track this? Well, GK, I'll help answer that in a section, my friend. I'm just going to get this thought finished. But so we have our positions tab here. We have our columns in our positions tab. So P&L open, P&L day. If you're trading options, maybe you have the Greeks. But personally, I really like to have, especially if you're trading options, I really like to have these sets, or these 5, which is P&L open, P&L day, theta, delta, and then this is also an underlying indicator column. So if you go into the settings, click on the settings gear icon on the top right, and we got a lot of drawings, but this is what we were seeing. We saw P&L open, P&L day, net theta, net delta, and underlying indicators. We could also maybe add in the IV rank if we wanted, or some other stuff. A lot of columns here. You can add dividend dates. But what's really nice about underlying indicators here is that's going to list upcoming earnings and dividends all in one column. So once we got all of our stuff in displayed, maybe we want to add in, let's see here. Where do we got Mark? We can add in Mark at the top. So that's where it's currently, or where the position's currently trading. And then also, let's see, where did I have trade price? My blind today? A little bit. But especially you could add in Mark here and then click on X. And then we see this new column generated in our positions tab. So you can see, okay, yeah, Ford's trading at 12.04. You can also see that here as well where our mouse is. But then we have our P&L open, or our profit or loss open on the position. P&L day, hey, how much has it moved? In this case, if we're just looking at Ford, we bought it. And then, based on the mid price, we're like up maybe 25 cents. Or well, actually, yeah, it's 12.04 now. So we're up about 2 cents there. So we have about a 25-cent profit if we were to close right now. For the day, we're also up about 25 cents. And then we have some more metrics on this symbol. In this case, the Greeks aren't going to be too applicable for stock, but you'd also see for other symbols like TSM on its indicators column, you can see, oh, TSM's got a dividend date in 16 days or has an earnings announcement in 44 days. So some columns I like to start with, but fully customizable to how you want to see it. And while we're in here, and just to show you how you might close a stock position, maybe you're thinking, yeah, 25 cents we're going to be paying for, man, what can 25 cents even pay for nowadays? Like maybe a gumball or something. But inflation, man, it's going crazy. But you can go into here on your positions tab, click on Ford, and then you're going to have a little menu here. You can either right click and you see some selections here, either close position, there's also group positions, or there's an actions button here at the bottom, same exact thing. So you can either actions, left click that and close position, or you can right click to close the position as well. So we'll click on close position there. And now we have a closing order queued up. The extended hours session is done. So maybe we set it as GTC. We want to go ahead and maybe sell this when it reaches 1250, take a profit there. We can set that up, click review and send, and then go ahead and you'll see kind of, once again, the breakdown of the trade, submit that order. And now we have a closing order pending on our shares here. Same applies if you're placing like a stop order or stop limit order, or if you'd placed a bracket on our desktop platform, you'll also see that here. But you can go ahead and then right click and replace the order. You can cancel it. So maybe we want to, hey, actually, I want to place it at 1260. You could click that replace button I just clicked on, go through the order, see 1260 here on the right, send that. We're out of our order at 1250, and then we should be in our positions tab working our new order at 1260. So that's just a short rundown on stock, or replacing a stock order while we had the extended hour session going. I'm going to get into placing an options trade here. I'm going to cancel my order as well. I'm going to get into options trading here shortly, but first, I know a lot of you wanted to maybe check out the charting package really quickly. It's different than our desktop as well, so just quickly want to go over it. Now, off the bat, when you're in the chart here, it's a little bit of a different interface in desktop that you have all your tools, your drawing tools and stuff on this left side panel here. And then the chart aggregation and period are actually kind of mixed together into one. So off the bat, let's say I want a chart where every tick or every little bar there represents 1 day's worth of data. You can do that there, and then each of these is representing a different date. You can see August 10th, that's a tick there, big move, August 11th. But if you wanted to see a wider time frame, all you got to do is just scroll your mouse wheel up and down, or if you have a trackpad, you kind of move your fingers up and down in unison. But you can scroll your mouse wheel and that will start drawing out longer time frames with the same exact aggregation. Maybe if you wanted to see a minute chart, you could pull that up and check out a minute chart as well. So what's really nice about the web platform too is you can also go into ticks as well. So it's really a little more of a refined, I wouldn't say refined, but at least like has some additional features here. One that I really like, and let me set up just the 1 day chart. You can set the chart types here too. So maybe if you want like an area or a histogram, line chart, maybe something like that. I personally just like the candles. But if you go ahead and click on this guy here, so you see this compare function, you can type in, say you want to compare forward to SPY on the chart, you could type in SPY and then add that in. And now you have a comparison in the change in price. It's going to change the y-axis to show you percentage change in price, but you can go ahead and add that in there and compare the two symbols. You can go keep adding in symbols if you really wanted to, maybe TSM or something like that. Yuck it in there. So really nice feature there on the charts for comparing different symbols based on time frames. And it's, this 11.9% is basing on, your zero date is here on the left side. So question, does it have a range bars? I believe we might. but check that out a little bit later. And then also, unless that's an indicator, is range bars an indicator or a yeah, is this what you're talking about? Those are range channel bands. But essentially, if you wanted to pull up any indicators here, yeah, not an indicator. That's what I thought. I don't believe, Tito. I don't think we do for right now, but I will get that. I'll get that ticketed up with our dev team. They should be able to add that up in a close update. So, but thanks for the clarification, my friend. If you wanted to add in any studies or indicators, you can also click on this button here at the top and say maybe add in let's see, we got MACD. Yeah, let's toss a little MACD in there. You can double click it, add it over, drag it over if you wanted to, change the parameters and the colors and all that jazz. If you want it off, you could delete it or click that X there. But if you go back to our chart here, then we can see those lines. So click on settings if you want to go back into there and check it out. Or you can add in multiple different indicators. So nice feature there. And then in terms of drawing, it's pretty self-explanatory where, so if we have a trend line here, clicked on this guy on the left, the trend line, maybe we're selecting 2 different points, drawing 2 dots. And then once you have clicked left click to draw your 2 dots, you can move around this line, or you could double click on it, pull up the parameters for this line, the styling, the coloring. Then also, yeah, the colors are here too. So maybe you want blue, red, purple, green. You want to change the thickness. You want to make it dashed. Same goes with if you wanted to lock this in position. So if you don't want to be able to drag it around, move it around, you can lock it in place, unlock it, or just delete it entirely. That applies to all of these drawings here. So it's pretty streamlined. It's a very nice charting package, especially compared to our desktop. I definitely like that compare function. That's not something you're going to see on desktop too, but there are some multi-chart layouts. As of right now, they show up here, but they might not necessarily work very well for you since it's going to show you the same symbol for all these. So this is just brand new charting package. We essentially kind of tossed everything they had on there. Some of the stuff's still getting kind of built out, but for the most part, you can kind of play around with it, add in a lot of the stuff. I would say if you're looking to save everything and really make sure that all your drawings and stuff is being recorded and you're going to reference it down the line, I'd say stick to the desktop for right now. But if you want to do some quick charting, use this compare function. The web platform charting package is really, really nice. There is some other stuff on here in the settings where you can play around with how your chart is set up in terms of light mode, dark mode, legend. Technically, there is a trading from chart function. I don't believe it's currently working right now, but let's give it a go. Yeah, see. So there are some there's some small functionality there in the settings that we're just still building out. They just show an option there on the screen. So that's our charts. Also, I just like to show off real quick too that we do have research and news and analysis. So under this research and news tab, especially for our stock traders, if you're looking for some background, some financials, so performance for this company, maybe some ratios for the year. Also, we have a nice little analyst forecast too. So I'll check this out from time to time, where you can kind of get an idea of, hey, what are certain analysts thinking about right now on this underlying, and then also an about section. So quick description of Ford, brief financial summary. This section right here is super, super nice. I like to read this on the companies that I'm analyzing. And two, which is just kind of crazy that they have this at this point, but you can check out all the people that are on the board or are directors or, chief CEOs, kind of part of that chief team. Check that all out there. So super nice information in our research tab. We're still building it out as well with a little bit more stuff, but let's go ahead and get into an options trade. So I saw earlier people were saying spreads. We want to play some spreads. You like that? Let's do it. So if we wanted to place an options trade on the web platform, first, again, Just like our stock trade, we're going to navigate to trade. We're going to make sure that we have our active symbol up. In this case, I do want to trade TSM, so I typed it in at the top here, but I could have clicked it from a watch list too. So we're in our trade tab. We got TSM as our active symbol. Because of that, we're looking at the options chain on TSM. What's really nice is that within this options chain, you can see there's actually an upcoming dividend date on September 14th, and then also an earnings date coming up October 12th. So maybe if you're trying to place an earnings trade, it's nice to check that out and see, oh, maybe I want to, do the expiration right after earnings. You can click on October 20th, and that will expand this options chain. In this case, let's stick with the 52 days out. So while you're in this mode, you're going to see here all the different expirations. So these guys are monthly expirations. If you see a little W there, that means a weekly expiration. Might be a Monday or a Friday weekly, which means that every week you're going to see these expirations on here, the little W. Probably if you're trading a liquid enough underlying, they're going to be nice to trade, but definitely be careful of liquidity in some of these weeklies. But in this case, we're just going to stick to the monthly. So if we go to the monthly here, 52 days out, October 20th, after the earnings, we'll see the full strikes listed. So we have all the different strike prices that we could place an options trade on. On our left side, we got calls. So these are the pricing for the calls, the bid and ask. See bid and ask up there. It's all these bid and asks. For example, the bid and ask for the 80 strike is to sell the call right now, 1580, buying 1610. Those are NAT prices. But on the put side as well, we got the bid and ask and all these pricings here. You can also see if an option is already in the money or out of the money simply by if it is this light gray outline, that means it is in the money, or out of the money options where it's just going to be a black background. So maybe you're thinking, I want to set up an out of the money call spread. What you could do is either you could use the strategy selector tool here at the top. So this is just nice for our beginners that are just getting into it, not sure maybe how to set up that trade. You can click on long call vertical, or maybe toggle short put, short call, long put. Just click on these buttons here to toggle between. Maybe we want a long call vertical. We can go long call and then click on this button here. And now we have a default long vertical spread on TSM. It's going to select the strikes near the in the money line, but we can drag and drop these legs, left click and drag and drop to change the strike price. Maybe we want to buy the 100 strikes, sell the 115, or drag it, buy the 100, sell the 110. We can see that order too here at the bottom in our bottom left, and then also all the metrics on this order in this row right here. So we can see the max profit, the max loss on this trade. This is a long spread, so how much time decay is eating into our position. We have delta, so this is a bullish trade, so we have positive deltas, and then you can see some other metrics like probability of profit, beta weighted deltas, extrinsic value, P50, all good stuff. And then also the buying power effect. So hey, how much cash do I need to put aside to open up the spread? It's just going to be the debit that we're paying to open, which is set at $1.84 or 184 bucks to open the spread, which is shown right there. And also, max loss is how much we paid to open the long spread. So 184 all around. And while we're in here, just some off the bat information that you might not notice is that we also have some good visual metrics on the implied volatility and expected move for this expiration. In the case of an expected move, it's really just telling us based on the last traded price from the options pricing right now and kind of this Black-Scholes model calculation on the background, what is the price range that this option is going to trade over this next 42 days? With one standard deviation of certainty, what is the range it's going to trade between two? You can see it's going to trade plus or minus probably 6.23. So that's based on the expected move. Might not happen, something crazy might happen. It's all just based on calculations from the options pricing itself. You can see the expected move actually visually with this orange bar here. So you can see, okay, if I'm a guy that likes probabilities, I like thinking about one standard deviation moves, well, then maybe, I want to set up where I'm profiting right around where it's at the top of its one standard deviation move, or, kind of overlapping into that 1 to 2 standard deviation move. You can see here on the left side, we see a red bar and a green bar. That's actually indicating our profit and loss zones on this trade. So we can see that, right around, I got like 10 million arrows going on right now. Sorry, guys. But you can see that right around where we are looking at that end of the expected move is where our break-even point will be on this trade. Once we're ready to send the order, we can either select as a day order, GTC or GTD. Just do GTC. And then we can also select our limit price. In this case, again, we can see the market for this spread. Market's closed, but we can see that it's trading right around $1.80 to open to $1.88 to open. Like when we're buying something, the more you pay, the more likely that someone's going to take the other side, that you're going to get filled. So, if we placed it at 184 or the mid price, decently likely to get filled, but the higher price we place at, if we said it went to 1.85, 1.86, all the way up to 1.88, we're more likely to get a fill. In this case, let's just do 1.88. We just want to get a fill at the next market open. So we can do that, type in 1.88. We can then check out our trade confirm. We're placing it in the right account, our purple account. We can see the net debit of $1.88 to open, or 188. You can, again, see the commission and fee breakdown, all that good jazz, and also just the trade that you're placing here on the left. If it all looks good, you can go ahead and submit. And now we have a working order on TSM for the next market session. And now in our options chain too, we can see that working order here. Just like our stock trade, if we go to our positions tab, positions up here, and then what did we just place it on? Was that the TSM? Yeah. If we go down to TSM here at the bottom, we can see our pending working order to open this position. If we don't like it or want to change the price, we could cancel or replace. In this case, let's just cancel it out. And now our order is gone. Thinking, okay, I don't want that. But then maybe in the back of your head, you're going, oh, I just misclicked. How can I get that order back? Well, what's really nice is that if we go to our activity tab here, so this guy right here, if we open up activity in the middle, we can actually see all of our past orders that we were just placing, the order that got filled to buy the shares of Ford, our orders to close that we canceled, and then also that options trade that we just tried to place on TSM. If we right click on it, you can actually see similar and opposite. So maybe if you want to do an inverse trade, you can click on opposite, or you can go ahead, right click, click similar to, and now we had that trade that we just had pulled up. So if you get misclicked and, accidentally clear out a trade that you wanted to place, or like, you cancel out of a trade that you did want to have working, you can always go back to your activity tab and click on similar and then queue that up. If we don't want that trade at all, we can actually click on clear trade here and get that off our screen. So that's a very brief, and one thing too, I just want to kind of show you real quick is the history tab. So this is where you can reconcile your past profit and losses. So right now we're looking at our transactions. We can check out the trade we had on, let's see if TSM's got anything going on. Apple. No, we should still have that open. Oh, this is just for today. Okay, so we actually need to change our date filter. So I make this mistake myself sometimes. I change my date filter to maybe 120 days, and we check out a trade that we've done a while ago. I'm gonna pull up an old trade that I had. So if we check out a trade here, I believe we had a strangle on TSM back in July. So if we wanted to see, hey, what did my profit or loss on that trade look like? Well, you could click on, so you see the opening order, we received a credit of $210 to open the trade. And then if we click on these two closing legs, we can see, okay, our net profit was $2. Or, we paid 208 to close the trade, and net profit is $2. We paid $2 in commissions to open, 0 to close, pass-through fees as well. And that's where you can kind of reconcile and go through. And Tito, I see, how do you sell credit puts to get the advanced credit on an option? So if you wanted to just sell, say, like a naked put, or just selling a short put in general, and you're getting long exposure or kind of bullish exposure, you would click on, so in this case, we are on our put side. Maybe we wanted to sell the 85 put. All you got to do is just left click on the bid price of that 85 put there. So the bid price is selling, and now we are selling a put, and we are getting a $96 credit off the bat. So in your cash, in your actual like account cash balance, if we were to place that trade and it gets filled, you'd see your cash balance increase by $96. Now, your buying power effect for this trade might eat up a little bit more of that. So it's like if you're trading, say, like a covered call or something like that. So for example, let's see, do I have 100 shares open here? That would have been a nice example. But in short, for example, say you were buying 100 shares of TSM. Then we go to options here and go to, actually here, we can just go to the strategy and go a covered call, or you could do a covered put as well if you wanted to. But in this case, I think you will just talk about a covered call. Yeah, here, see, I gotta go short there. Boom. So a covered call is 100 shares or 100 long shares in a short call. See here that the buying power effect is quite a bit, but actually the credit that we would receive or the cash that we would receive for selling this covered call instantly adds to our buying power, even though we're quite a lot of buying powers already getting eaten up just by holding the 100 shares. So that's the idea. If your trade is covered, or say you had 100 short shares and then you were selling a put, that would actually increase your buying power if you already had the short shares open, and then whatever you sold that put for would add to your buying power. Same goes if you had 100 shares, long shares open, and then you sell a call against those 100 long shares, it adds to your buying power. So hopefully that helps answer your question. But yeah, the idea is that you sell options, that credit is immediately going into your cash. Okay, so let's go ahead, and I see there's some stuff going on in chat. Andy, thank you for answering while I was running through. But anything in specific you guys want to go over? Do you want to go over a certain type of trade? Maybe, more stuff on reconciling, charting, different features that you guys are curious if it's on this platform. I will know. I can also get it ticketed up. So anything you guys want to see? I know Andy's been taking some feedback, but let's see. Is there a scanner feature? So, Sam, good question. We don't have a hardcore scanner feature per se, but I would say the closest equivalent would be our watch list tab. So we saw our watch list earlier, and in our watch list tab, our primary watch list window, we can pull up, once again, scan symbols in the S&P 500 or high options volume, stuff along those lines. And you can sort each of these columns based on the column header here. So IVR, we can sort all these symbols by their IV rank or volume traded, maybe their beta, change in price for the day, or percentage change in price. And then also there is a little filter section here that's probably be the closest to getting to a scanner, is where you can filter, hey, I only want to see dates or symbols with earnings in the next 17 to 58 days. I want them to have a IV rank higher than 63. And then also I want to make sure that they have 4-star liquidity rating, or essentially the best liquidity you can get, or at least the highest rating that you can get for liquidity. So, and that will filter all these symbols. Now we can see that our list has gotten a little bit shorter, but maybe, we found a set of symbols that we're looking to trade. So hopefully that helps. Can you chart 3 futures? Chaz, good question. So you can, it's really easy to do that on the desktop platform. We have that built out. There is a function here in multi-chart here, this little chart layout, but again, it's just essentially like there is some like finicky ways around where you can have four like you so technically you could have, let's see, pull up /es. It's just really janky. It's not what you're looking for. You'd want to have to go on the desktop platform if you wanted to pull that up. But in the next month or so, this should be fully active. So, but in this case, you can have ES, TSM there. It's just ideally we're looking to have this little search box right here where you could type in the symbol for each one of these boxes and have multiple charts up at once. But yeah, the best alternative for right now is just to pull up the desktop platform. So awesome. Does the desktop work on a Chromebook? Mark, I'm pretty darn confident it should. So definitely give it a try. And if you run into any issues, feel free to give us a call. So just for the sake of it, our phone number is 888-247-1963. So just typing it out up here. But if you do need to get a hold of us, you're having issues with the trade, or maybe you're having issues installing or getting on the platform, feel free to give us a call, 888-247-1963. We also have a contact us page on our help center where you can find our phone number, our email, and all that jazz. So if you're running into issues with your Chromebook, Mark, definitely give us a call. The tech team is probably walked through it 1,000 times. So definitely reach out to us if you're running into trouble. Oh, Chaz, I see the comparison function. Okay, I got you, my friend. Thanks for clarifying. So the compare function, I believe you should be able to, you were looking to do like, let me scroll up in chat here. Yeah, like /NQ. Let's see, is this working for futures? Good question, my friend. Well, it looks like you might have found a bug. Well, we will reach out to our devs on that. It looks like it might be, yeah, yeah. It looks like the contracts are just futures is just a little wonky here. So I'll reach out to our devs. We should get that fixed up real soon. So, but then you'll be able to use that compare function. For right now, I mean, at least you could probably do like SPY versus, or actually, let me pull up SPY. And great, did I bog down my platform a little bit too much? Might have bogged down my platform a little bit too much there. So it's saying no data is available. It's also my network's a little cranky now. But if you had like maybe SPY up and you did QQQ, or you did like the ETF equivalents, maybe that would do you some justice there in the meantime. But yeah, thanks for your patience as again, it's just the charting package it's got some nice features, but they're still kind of getting fixed and cleaned up a little bit because it's not one-to-one with desktop. So good stuff. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for your time. If you got any more questions, feel free to reach out to us again at that number, our email, support@tastytrade.com. Big shout out to Andy for answering the questions. And yeah, thank you, folks. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks for keeping up with me. Hopefully I wasn't talking too fast there. Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So Chaz, trust me, my friend, I've been like working through this with our dev team. It's a little finicky. And part of it too is that it's like essentially we're importing this package from a third party, which is really nice, and they're working on some of the fixes. So we're trying to integrate as best we can to get a better charting package. So just appreciate your patience as we kind of make some of those fixes. So thanks, my friend. And Ricardo, Sam, thank you as well. We got many great demos coming up. Again, we had our Tasty Trade YouTube channel that is going to post a recording. Give that a look-see, and we'll be on our way. Feel free to shoot any stuff our way if you want to see any new features or you're having issues with the platform. We're always here to help, and you're not going to wait on the phone for 15 minutes. I mean, I call some other places, and I'm like, I'll go crazy. I will go crazy, and I'm like, I'm not an angry person, but sometimes those phone calls definitely get to me. But awesome, Tito. Appreciate it. Yeah, the UI can get a little bogged out. So it's definitely something that we're looking at making a little bit easier. So appreciate the feedback, my friend. So awesome. Thanks everyone. Have a nice rest of your night. I will catch you on the flip side, maybe on one of our next demos. So have a rice. I was about to say nice rest of the day. Have a nice day. Is that what I was trying to say? I'm trying to flip the words there, but I'm just going on one. So thanks for putting up with me, everyone. Have a nice one. Catch you later.